right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our fourth bout of the evening, brought to you by SUPS. 1 8-minute round of cage grappling. Again, your only winner is by submission. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's fighting out of Janesville, Wisconsin, and representing Fearless MMA, John Matusewic. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, representing 0 to 100 Fitness, Jac'Quis Gooch.
I don't know if any of you remember the television program Different Strokes. The bully for Arnold was named the Gooch. You never got to see the Gooch until the last season, and then it was played by Andrew Dice Clay.
Would have been just walkout music for the ages, Rich, if you went with the theme song from that great 80s gem.
Would have loved it. Jac'Quis Gooch, John Matusewic. And Matusewic is actually fighting with a shirt on. I was wondering why. And he's doing that because he's got a long braided beard.
Yep.
He tucks it into the shirt.
Called a rash guard. It was real popular about 10 years ago when grappling and on the mat stuff kind of became its own thing. And there's a nice takedown there. It's optional. You don't have to wear it, but a lot of, I'd say 50-50 of the grapplers go with the rash guard.
So no points for a takedown. So the way that this is working, it's just 1 8-minute round. That's it. So it's submission only. If you don't get a submission, what does that mean?
It's a draw.
That's it. Okay.
So, and there's no judging. There's no punching. It's just, I mean, this is pretty close to, you all had the wrestling team at your high school. It's not quite the same rules, but this is as far as the hybrid of MMA to amateur wrestling as you're going to get right here in grappling.
So they are in the center of the cage. I mean, I'm guessing you could go up against the side of the cage. Yep. Can you use that then too?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, really, what this is it's on the mat wrestling for both guys, because you can get a triangle, you can get a hammerlock, you can get a Kimura from bottom. This is all about mat wrestling. They're going to spend, like I said, the guy on bottom, they're going to spend very few time on their mat. They want to be. This is where you want to be in grappling. Obviously, you want to be on the top grappling, but they're even on bottom. You can be comfortable in that position.
Matusewic, all gray hair on Matusewic. I don't have his age in front of us, but he might be at least oldest looking fighter I've ever seen in the cage here.
Yep.
At one of these chosen few events.
I did see the ref. He did have his AARP card with him, so that was cleared. So he is good to compete here in this first ever. By the way, shout out to Chosen Few for doing this first ever grappling fight. We've had 26 of these shows. First time we've ever had a grappling match.
And we got 2 of them on the card tonight. A little bit later on, we're going to see a UFC
how
vet
about that?
Who is on the card. So fun things to come if you're looking to stick around on the broadcast here. The Gooch right now in control. But again, no points for takedowns or reversals or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you think about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is kind of a hybrid of this. And, the most famous guy ever is Royce Gracie. You can remember the glory days, Rich, of really the blood sport years of
I'm old enough
UFC.
to remember.
Oh, yeah, he was my guy. This is where he made his money. Remember, he always came out in that white gi, and, he had the guys out there in the compression shorts and the big fight gloves. And here comes Royce Gracie. He looks like he knocked off Daniel LaRusso's Miyagi-Do. But, yeah, Royce was kind of the pioneer of this style of MMA.
And we might have a problem here for the Gooch as a choke is in on him, I believe. I'm not sure if Matusewic has it all the way in.
He had it. You want to cinch it under the neck. Is where you want to get. You want to get right on, not to be too graphic, but right on the carotid artery. I mean, the goal of that move is to put your, like a fist or a open hand right on the carotid and choke him out.
Just a little over 3 minutes into this 1 8-minute round. That's a long way to go.
I was just going to say, you talk about conditioning. I've rolled with some guys doing this, and just the amount of energy you have to, every muscle of your body is just on full attention. And that was a nice reversal. See how you saw his hips? You kind of hips are so important in MMA and grappling and jiu-jitsu and wrestling. He just great hip pressure there. Nice leverage. You got him right on top. That was really well done. But again, with no judging here, Rich, you really got to. It's home run derby, right? You're swinging, not literally, figuratively, metaphorically, swinging for that one big chokehold or armbar submission.
Got to get the submission, otherwise it is a draw. We have reached the halfway point of the round. Patrick the Ghost Delgado from Fearless MMA trying to root on his guy, John Matusewic, who is, again, on top right now, and maybe if we were judging things, might have had the better of things so far.
Yeah, I think that last one probably swung in his favor, that last reversal. I would have probably leaned Gooch to start, but I think, there's a nice little go behind there by Gooch to face up there. You don't want to back pressure. You don't want to stand up too quickly because you can apply that chokehold, but you kind of want to push your butt up in the air, and nice counter there by Matusewic.
And all the way up now is Gooch.
That was 4 minutes, Rich, on the mat. That was the first takedown within 30 seconds. Think about that, almost 5 minutes these guys spent on the mat.
A lot of energy burned off. They got 3 minutes to get to a submission right now.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
Gooch with the takedown.
That's an inside trip, made famous in Russia years ago when it was the Soviet Union invented them. It was called a Russian inside trip, and he hit that beautifully.
That's a great name for it, by the way.
Yep. There was a guy, Rich, it was the original Ivan Drago was named Makarov Hadartsev. He was an Olympic champion who made that move famous on the world stage about 30 years ago.
Joe Miller with the encyclopedic knowledge of wrestling.
That's why you brought me in here, to pay me the big bucks.
That is right.
To drop 88 Soviet Union wrestlers. I'll be here all night.
Matusewic and Gooch in the center of the cage. Matusewic now back on top. Just a little over 2 minutes to try and finish this bout. I'm not sure that the crowd quite understands everything that's going on.
Yeah,
right?
the biggest thing, and you and I were talking about it, is the non-striking. And there's certainly a learning curve. This is more traditional grappling, right? This is probably more pure of the sport. Or, MMA, mixed martial arts, it could be a boxer, it could be a grappler. This is where it's old school. It's grappling. It's, what the Romans did 3,000 years ago at the first Olympics.
And Matusewic now got him to tap out.
He got him to tap out. Wow.
Well, that happened quickly. All of a sudden, Matusewic on top, using the legs, got Gooch to tap out. And I tell you what, the old man pulls out the win pretty impressively.
A head cradle, leg cradle, whatever you want to call it. You can use your legs, Rich, as an arm. It was a third appendage out there. He put the shin bone right under the chin, and he choked him out with his leg.
Matusewic!
Guys everywhere, Rich.
Absolutely.
I might get out of the retirement for the next one.
Love it. Matusewic with the victory in the first ever cage grappling match in Chosen Few Fighting Championships history. So good stuff there. Everybody hugging it out. Afterwards, we go back to good old-fashioned MMA after this on TW.